could eat a page for hours. Please. Kiss me.
Greetings and salutations! You're listening at Cage's Kiss, which is a Nicolas Cage-based podcast that explores his cinematic masterpieces in his life and times! We also glean kernels of wisdom from his cinematic abortion that week! And I'm really excited! Or not really, because I'm Adrian.
Yeah.
My name's Linda, but you can call me the cheese as always. This week, I don't know. I guess I'm like a festive cheese, like a Wensleydale with cranberries.
You a nut log.
Yeah, you're a nutty log.
I'm a nut log. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Foot long nut log.
They call it nut log. Oh, nut log.
I was run over by a truck full of mixed nuts.
Oh, Jesus. Who you?
Yes,
Who
I am
Who
Donnie, or the Doombringer, also known as Adam Sandler's Christmas movies.
Oh. You didn't want to watch 8 Crazy Nights?
Come on, guy.
It's so heartwarming.
I'm gonna make more Halloweeny movies because my life sucks.
I'm Jack, but I'm also Jill.
Oh, fuck.
God damn it. So what are we talking about today, Adrian?
I'll tell you what I'm talking about. I didn't have to watch no Nicolas Cage movie this week. Booyah! Oh, yeah. But
Celebrate good
we're
times,
still going to
come on.
talk about a Nicolas Cage movie that we didn't watch, but they just dumped the thing on Prime today. So we're gonna make some fucking predictions about this shit. We're gonna put together like our knowledge and all that.
Well, then would
Shit,
that
you
be
guys.
more appropriate for Linda to be a wheel cheese?
The wheel of the cheese keeps on
I'll
turning.
be a grog.
I don't know where I'll be tomorrow.
Actually, I just realized that you guys, Adrian brings up a good point. This is the first time in almost 2 years that we haven't had, we've had a cageless week.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Yeah.
The first week in almost 2 years without a Cage movie.
Yeah.
Oh, let that
Week
settle
without
in.
a Cage movie. Why, that's
Yeah,
like
it
a
reminds me
house
of my
without
life
a Christmas
before
tree.
we did all this.
You mean there was a time where we didn't?
Yeah, there was a time when I could say I've only seen 4 Nicolas Cage movies my whole life.
Oh.
Tell me more about this world.
Well, turn around on that
Man.
tree stump and I'll tell you while I reload my pistol.
Man, 2018 was pretty wicked until I slipped on that hill on the wet grass, and then I reached out and grabbed a vine with thorns on it, and it cut up my hand. That part wasn't so good.
Yeah.
What is happening?
That happened in 2018, and you weren't there, because friends are there for people, and now I know what you are.
You weren't there!
I had no warning.
Hot water burn, baby! Hot water burn, baby!
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, okay.
So what are we doing first?
Way back, if you've been listening to it long, and fuck you, even if you haven't been listening along, way the fuck back at episode 65, we covered some goddamn cartoon thing that Cage did called the Croods. He was in there with Ryan Reynolds. So, they made out in the elevator every chance they got. Oh.
I'd watch that for a nickel.
I'd
went through that out of my theater.
For some reason, 7 years later, they sequeled it.
Yeah, they kind of did. Well, I mean, it wasn't as bad as Waiting on the Incredibles to the point no one gave a shit, but
Oh, the Incredibles.
still nobody was asking for it, but we got it.
Yeah, it's like, hey, do you guys even remember Finding Nemo? We made another Finding Nemo. It's like, oh!
We
That's
found
also-
that bitch.
Yeah, that's also why I'm Adam Sandler this week, because they also gave us another Transylvania movie that we didn't ask for.
Oh,
But
God.
they still
What
did
are
it.
they up to now?
Donnie, you can do it.
I must suck the blood out of my cock. Oh.
How spooky.
That's pretty much the Hotel Transylvania. I just saved you time.
There you go. 2 boo-boo hours saved.
Yes, I'm going to suck the blood out of my cock. Daughter, don't date that boy. Oh.
So it looks like they're up to 4 now?
Yeah, I think the
damn.
newest, they have a summer thing.
And I bet every one of them cost $300 million and made $2 billion because there's no fucking justice in this world. You know, you sick shithead moviegoers just keep paying them, you fuckers.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Do heroin.
children have to...
Oh, wait, no, we're not supposed to
Right?
endorse
I mean,
those things.
Wait, you mean don't do heroin? I don't understand, Bird.
Well, you have to do something with your life, Adrian. Don't do drugs.
I gotta find my special purpose.
Yeah, with both
Today's episode is brought to you by all those ants that are crawling under your skin.
Today's
And viewers
brought to you
like
by the
you.
letter K.
That's not drugs doing that. That's just I need to clean my apartment.
So yeah, okay, do we actually want to tell them this time what we're talking about?
I already mentioned about
he told
the
them.
Croods thing. I said it.
Yeah, he did it in
We
crude
haven't paid to watch
fashion.
the Croods 2 yet because it just dropped and it's $20 fucking. So instead, we're gonna we episode 65. We hadn't introduced my segment yet. Sequel Return More Harder, and so we're going to do that retroactively. We're gonna see what the fuck we think they're gonna do for the goddamn fucking ass twat Croods 2.
Yeah, piss shit
Yeah.
cock.
Piss shit cock, yeah, and some of that.
Shunt.
Yeah. I mean, it
Shunting.
is playing at the drive-in here, but I don't know.
Yeah, you'd have to go there.
Who would like to start us off?
It's really gonna suck. The end. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there. Rock ages
So-
will be had.
So yeah, no. So we already know the title, but fuck it. I'm gonna pretend I didn't see the title. The Croods 2, Love on the Rocks. Yeah,
That's a
that
good one.
Croods family and their Ryan Reynolds friend and the grandma and the cannibal baby, they made it to that new land, you know, as Ryan Reynolds predicted, and it was the end and the beginning, and they had their giant-headed cat friend. Sure, everything's rosy as fuck, but it can't stay rosy as fuck, because we gotta have a sequel. Oh, we need to imperil some shit now. Maybe shit's good. Everybody's into shit getting good, but like Ryan Reynolds has another one of his fucked up visions because it's like actually more evolved than the rest of them, but somehow also makes him psychic for no good reason. Don't know why that was there, whatever. But he has another fucked up vision, and his girlfriend, wife, chick, Brave there, whatever the fuck her name was, she's all like, oh, you need to stop with that shit. Everything's fine now. We take pictures of ourselves by smashing ourselves into a rock with paint on our faces, and we wear opaque sunglasses. We have no complaint. We don't need your predictions anymore. This is post-prediction world right now. And Ryan Reynolds is like, no, some shit's gonna go down. I don't know if we're even ready for it. There might be like sequel type activity. And everybody kind of laughs it off. And while he's brooding over it, new guy shows up. Dude McFella. And Dude McFella is not attached. And Dude McFella's kind of a hunk. Yeah, he's a little bit top heavy. He might not be the brainiest, but he's suave. Yeah, and he's a little bit more like that Nicolas Cage dad character. Oh, and he's making Brave Chick just a little bit wet. I don't know. He's kind of putting on the moves.
You kind of just sounded like Linda Belcher from Bob's Burgers.
Thank you.
Oh.
So yeah, no, their marriage is that ship is circumvented. Cause you see that shit right there. Oh, that's right. Yeah, kind of like in National Treasure too. Yeah, and so Ryan Reynolds guy is like, man, I need to win that Virginer all over again, but this time I've got some really stiff competition.
Vagina be like that.
It'd be like bitches be shopping. I don't know if you understood that up to now. But, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, and at first, Cage Dad's all like, "Hey, this new cock in town, I don't know, he's a little bit more my style. I'm just saying, it's a kind of dude, And the Keener there, she's all like, I don't know, there's something about him. There's something different about him. Don't smell right." And Cage is like, "Yeah, he doesn't bathe. I'm down with that." Shit. But shit does start to get a little bit weird. There is trouble paradise in more than one way, possibly. Like, maybe another doom is upon them. Like, maybe Ryan Reynolds is vindicated after all. Maybe there's, like, volcanoes that walk on little crab feet, and they spout kittens that look cute at first, but they have a maw that rips up their whole body in half in a way that's still PG rated, but kind of freaky. And of course, we'll introduce a new animal like a slash panda bear or some shit. And that baby that's a cannibal. Yeah, thick. Double C. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. No, it's going to be proportioned thusly. Yeah. And Kung Fu Panda people will think about suing, but then they'll think that's too hard. And the cannibal baby will say its first word. Its first word is going to be something really stupid, by the way, but it'll be a big laugh. That line's going to be a big laugh for all the, differently abled mental people who would see this in a theater setting, right? Yeah. So like there'll be some shit that goes down. There'll be a real heated argument, and then baby will say first words. They'll be like, "Oh snap," and everybody will be like, woo, ow, yeah, because people sound exactly like 1980s laugh tracks.
Yeah.
Woo!
Then new cock in town dude fella turns out to be kind of a pussy, and Cage never liked him anyway, and Ryan Reynolds gets to fuck brave McGirlfriend oval face again.
Yeah, and he gets to bash her and then fuck her over a rock.
And you learn some kind of really stupid fucking lesson, like
it's the style.
Knock down, drag out. That's how it was,
We're not talking about Pixar here, guys. Calm down.
Oh, wait. Croods 2, the invention of consent? Oh my god.
That's the Croods 3.
Oh shit. Okay, the one which you can only see in 3D, guys.
What kind of a world is this? I can't have sex with a woman against her will? What is
what
this?
The Fruity Pebbles is going on here? And when all this shenanigans is going on, this won't be a musical. The first one wasn't a musical, and it's very definitely not a musical. We're not Disney, guys. We got to distance ourselves from that shit. However, there is going to be a pop song in there.
Yeah.
I don't know who it's going to be by. I don't know. And I don't know if it's just going to be a stupid, slow cover of an existing pop song.
It's going to have to be Taylor Swift.
Right round, baby, right round like a record.
The world was gonna own me.
No, Johnny, too real. Pull out.
There's gonna be butt shaking right in your face because they're shaking their butt.
No butt jokes, fart jokes, foot jokes, hangnail jokes, and somebody will get a tapeworm. The grandma will get a tapeworm. A big freaking prehistoric tapeworm. But she's still spry, and you know what? She's hardcore, so she'll just like floss her intestines with it. She just reach down her mouth, pull out the one end, and be like, I've never felt so clean.
She's gonna reach out up her ass.
And tapeworm will have a face and it'll have lines, right? And towards the end, when Coward McNewdick, is trying to make trouble for them, like maybe he's gonna have that pussy anyway, she whips it out like a lasso and like pulls him into some lava and he dies.
Or he goes to bang Og or whatever Sugar Tits name is in this, and instead ends up banging Gran. And then ever since then, Gran is like, I'm all about that dick. And he's like, oh no, Gran wants me. And
come
Kate's
back
like,
here, you young stud.
I'll
teach you.
Let me show you a thing or two, Sonny.
I got the moves from back in the Cretaceous.
I can still move on this walker now.
Them tremors was me.
See, it's gonna be exactly like Squidbillies, except it's the Croods too. I
Oh,
don't move around
Jesus.
much anymore. I still got it though. Let's gather it up for you.
Rusty, don't you say no damn in this mess.
Harder?
Yes, that was the
Please.
Croods 2 Love on the Rocks. That was my version. So feel free to shit your version right into our audience's
I
mouth.
like the new age of consent, though. Okay, so in the first one, it's a little hazy, but they didn't run into any other humans, did they?
No,
Or
they
mannequins,
it was just Ryan Reynolds, the Croods, and some monkeys. That was all we got.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're in this new land, right? And, they're like, oh, woohoo, yay, we're in this new land. But they eventually realize that, like, hey, they're the only ones there, right? And they don't have, like, ethics or any,
Consent.
laws as we know them today.
Oh no!
So they have no qualms. So they're just all fucking left and right.
Hey,
and
Lod,
they're
it sure
just
is dark in
trying
this
to-
cave. I know, daughter. It's cold too. You should come a little closer.
So
Come
they're
on
all
up closer.
they're all just like trying to boost their numbers, right? And the guys are silly. They don't realize that there has to be a guy and a girl, so they're fucking left and right too. And besides that, it feels good. So let's they all just go at it.
Linda,
And
you're
of
truly the
course-
Nostradamus of this group. I'm going to be shocked if this doesn't turn out to be the movie.
Yeah.
So they're all fucking, and of course you've got like mongoloids all over the place now from the incest, and that's all just like backdrop. for
Linda,
the
we
movie.
called them
It's not really-
retardiloids now.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was really insensitive there.
were
I am so sorry,
insensitive.
guys. The retardiloids or mongos, if you will, are just running rampant. So anyway, that's all like the backstory. That's like just the world building. That
Oh, this is
they're
the part
in
we
now.
get on Crayon at the beginning, because they got to do
Yeah.
their cool arty prologue.
Well, they're also going to be those obvious scenes where like they're having deep conversations while, Grug is fucking his son Thunk in the background. Ugh! Like, hey, so what did you think about that rain yesterday? Ugh!
Yeah, and they got some doobies that are so big you could use them as a cane too. They're like, shh,
Yeah.
boy.
Well, naturally. So they're having this grand old time, but the problem is that this new world, they were so happy to find it, but unfortunately something bad happens every single day or night. There's like a hailstorm, there are locusts, there grandma's got that tapeworm, and
The Jehovah's
Grug-
Witnesses are always coming to the door day and night.
Or actually, let's say Eep, Emma Stone's character, she breaks her leg while she's out, hunting.
Ooh, does the bone
And-
stick out?
I hope so.
No.
Yeah.
Actually, yes.
Oh.
Yeah, the bone sticks out and it's
Yeah.
just crazy. So, but I'm changing it. Let's say Thunk, the son, he's the one who's got the broken leg. That's the broken femur that's just poking through and all gross and shit.
I can
And
work
it's
with this.
infected and it's really fucking bad. And like he's got maggots all over it and shit. And so anyway, the first night there, they also find this huge stone, and it's just what do you call it? A monolith.
Oh, that kind of
Yeah,
lift.
And so he's like, "Oh, what's that? That looks weird." And it's got like red splotches on it. And anyway, that night he has a vision. And in the vision, the monolith has a voice and it says, "Grug, it is me, your god. I am unhappy. You must pay me in blood." So Thunk is just slowing them all down because he's got that gross ass, broken femur poking through. So they, of course, he sacrifices him first. Actually, he cuts off his whole leg and serves it to their new god, but it's not enough. And,
Wouldn't be.
it does, of course, like it stops all the bad stuff from happening for like 3 days. But then he's like, still our God is unhappy. So they send him the other leg of Thunk. And, and they get another 3 days of happiness and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Gran's got that tapeworm just like, really fucking up her ass and like all of her digestive tract and shit. So she's
And the tapeworm is all like, trust in me.
Yeah.
Trust
the
in
tapeworm
me.
is all like, it's all living. So anyway, she's on the brink of death, and so they're just like, fuck it. And they decide to let her, they figure she's gonna die anyway, right? So they sacrifice her whole to the monolith, and they get 6 months of just happiness and peace. But then
See what happens when you bury the hatchet?
Meanwhile, Thunk is just like, they cauterized his leg stumps, but he's still like, he's a fucking mess, man. And at this point, they're just taking care of him, and he's just like such a fucking drain. So, of course, they're like, hey, Thunk, I just want to take you on this walk with me so I can tell you about this dream I had. And
I don't really walk. It's like, I would take you on this drag with me. Yeah, drag, like you walk to me.
So he drags him along on a leash.
By his ear.
Right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, hey, Dad, this is the monolith. What are we doing here? And he's like, Thunk, you were a good son. And he's like, no, Dad, God, no, Dad, no. You know what must be.
For the greater good.
Yeah. The greater good. And
Honey,
so
where
really,
are the children?
It's all about...
They are with God now.
And then you've got all the Mongo babies, and it's like, why are you going to keep them around? So except for entertainment. So okay, Linda, that got a little dark. Anyway, they keep killing people off until it's just Nicolas Cage's character Grug and Catherine Keener's character Uga, and finally, like, something bad happens, and they're just looking at each other like, who's gonna kill the other one first? And
Malachi! He wants you, Malachi!
Outlander!
The Croods too, a new god.
Children of the Croods.
Honestly, I was really expecting them after Gronk was gone to like say that it's Grug's turn, and then for him to go, killing me won't bring your crops back.
You
His
bitches!
legs and his arms, and Gran puts a fucking beehive on his head. He's like, oh God, no, not the bees.
Not the prehistoric bees.
Your way
Yes, and then they
this
roast
time.
him. Like, the honey really did go with the meat well. It's like, oh yeah, we didn't remember this.
And children, that's how they invented barbecue.
No, that is how Hillshire Pepperidge Farms came to be.
We remember.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
We got a long memory. You better not cross us.
And Ryan Reynolds' character is the only guy who gets to live with their new colony, but they cut out his tongue years ago.
Oh.
Yeah. He's
Ain't
just
that
used
always
for
the way?
So, Donnie, what do you have?
Way down in the jungle deep, Grog stepped on Guy's dick. And Guy said, motherfucker, can't you see? Why you standing on my goddamn dick? And Grug said, I ain't heard a word you said, but if you say 3 more, I'll step on your motherfucking head. And this started... Oh, I could keep going, but yeah, Christ in heaven. So they decide, hey, let's go visit this, as you call it, a new land. And then Grug is like, oh, I still hate you because I heard you banging my daughter in the butt last night. And he's like, I call this new land your grave. It's like, oh no, curse your inevitable betrayals.
This sounds familiar.
So they get chased around, and then they end up meeting the newest member of the cast for this one, which is Peter Dinklage. And he's going to be called Little Rock. And he's got a big brother he rides on the shoulder of, played by Dwayne Johnson, called The Rock.
Is he Master Blaster now?
Yes, it's Master
Go
Blaster.
run Bartertown. Say.
Well, actually, they don't run Bordertown. It's called Sawmill. But that's because they just saw people in half with their teeth because The Rock is fucking huge and Peter Dinklage feeds him people. So when they come,
called Sawzall because it saws all.
Yes, exactly, because it saws all. So Ryan Reynolds runs into them, and he's like, "I'll kill you for running into me." I was like, "Rock, grind him." He's like, "Okay, I'll grind him. Yeah, because I'm the Rock."
He's the mind of a child.
He's about to grind him, but then they find Gran coming out because, like, "Oh, guy, you're supposed to clean up that mess you made on my granddaughter's ass." And,
you boys were supposed to grind me.
yes, and that's what happens. Peter Dinklage is like, "Oh, shit, I want to get all up in that Gran." So they start
Because it's
banging.
ladies' night and the feeling's right.
They start banging, and Eep or Ugga, Bugga, whatever her name is that he's banging, is like,
I
"Where's
just
my
call her
man
Brave."
at?" And like, I had to hit him over the head, but I can't do it with no dead noodle, so I have to hit him soft. So then they decide, okay, we got to go and get to this new land and make it prosper and get my dad to stop trying to kill my husband just because he likes to tickle his pickle at my little pucker pole. And it's just not going to work out for them. And especially with this thing, as we brought up, the consent, which is really fucking up everyone's weekend because they just don't know what to do with their clubs anymore. It's like, well, I guess we could do this tenderly, but I kind of want to bonk you on the head first because that's how our parents did it. And then it becomes a generational thing of the boomers against the younglings, and they got their little rock pads, which everyone's going to have, and they're going to message each other by throwing rocks and birds attached to them. It's going to be called
Is Cage going
tweeting.
to complain that some of it's fake news?
Yes, he will, because they're going to have pterodactyls that deliver the fake news, but the little tweetings of the birds delivering rocks with messages, that's what the kids are all into, and they don't like that because messages get mixed up sometimes.
You really embarrassed me at the shunting last week when you used the club on that lady.
Now, see, that's the one thing they don't like about the new land is that Rock and Master Blaster are talking about the shunting. And they don't call it the shunting, it's just the shunting. And how it's like the grand festival they have every full moon. And like, oh, this is going to be so great. There's all this food we're collecting for the feast. And it's kind of like Vikings when they go and celebrate their gods, where you get all these people together to celebrate, get drunk and food. But you also have sacrifices. So we're not going to ape off of your success of killing off Thunk and his legs. But Thunk did have an accident. And when they realize that he broke his leg, they just rip his leg off and barbecue it because he's like, "Hey, free food!" And it's just because Thunk is not really thinking. He's sadly disabled.
Oh,
So,
stinking thunking.
as they get closer and closer to
He's
the
differently
shunting, that's when they realize when the day of the shunting comes that everyone's drunk, everyone's eating food, that the Crood family has been chosen for their sacrifice, so they can't be part of the mass ocean of naked bodies just fucking, because that's all the shunting is just one mass orgy. And this is why it's going to be filmed in live action instead of animation, because we're trying to go for the Guinness Record of Records for the largest on-screen non-porn film filmed gangbang. And a pterodactyl is going to fly above them, and they're going to start going shunt, shunt, shunt. And then that's when the pterodactyl is going to like empty out this huge thing of lube that it had been carrying in its mouth like a pelican. So it just literally becomes a sea of lube and bodies just sliding in and out against each other. everything
To the
can
sea.
go into every
The
orifice.
sea of lube.
You just don't know when one body begins and the other ends, and if it's a man, if it's a woman, if it's yourself. You just don't know and you don't care because
If it's a sloth panda.
If it
Who's
is a
licking
hole,
me?
it will be filled. And there is a sloth in there somewhere, and the guy is just kind of slowly going around, one person to another, getting shunted with a smile on his face. So that's when it turns into Zootopia. And we end up with Master Blaster becoming a detective team. And they have to go and decide who it is that should be to blame for freeing the Croods. Because obviously you can't kill the family when they were famous from the first film. And we can't sacrifice them on film. So as they're escaping, Gran gets left behind. But she's cool with it because they ate her tapeworm. And she was sexy enough to them that she could be a part of the next shunting. So she tells them to go kill Grug because he was an absolute asshole to her the last film with hoping for her death constantly. And she also believes her daughter can do better. So she helps them.
Mother-in-laws, am I right?
Exactly. So she's helping them with all of her knowledge of Grug to find places that idiot would think was safe for them to hide because he still won't listen to Ryan Reynolds. And Ryan Reynolds is also having to deal with erectile dysfunction because he's recognizing that unless it's her anus, he can't get excited to have sex with her. Mm-hmm. So this is something they have to work out eventually.
So he needs to invent the 45 automatic so he can load it and hold it to her head during intercourse. That's the only way he can finish.
You're close. Because this new land happens to be in a place that later on will be inhabited by Native Americans, and then much later on will also be inhabited by Americans. He becomes the first person to invent
foreigners
the bow and arrow. And he recognizes holding this, a weapon, as he calls it, gives him an erection because it makes him feel powerful. So showing his wife this erection, he waggles it around like a helicopter. And she's like, get in me right now. And that's the end of the movie, is they have vaginal sex. It's awesome. Everyone gathers around and it's playing like Christmas music. If you can envision it, it's like How the Grinch Stole Christmas when all the Who's in Whoville were surrounding the tree going, Asudari.
Ding, president, ding, president, ding, president.
While he's banging her. Yeah. And then it's like everyone from the Shunting and from Sawmill Town, they come over ready to kill the Croods, but like, oh my God, what are they doing? And then that's when Grug says, it's consensual. And like, oh.
Yep,
so
guy made it snow. And so they truly know what Christmas
one
is.
person each. So that kind of gave us marriage. So it's a progressive film. And it's still a family film. Because even though we're going to have nudity, it's only going to have like a sudden dick in face type thing at the very end. So it's shocking to you and you'll talk about it with your friends in our houses. But the rest of it's just going to be a lot of oily ass and titties.
Your preacher.
Yes. It's like, that wasn't good.
That's right. It's like exploding varmints. You want to share it with everyone.
Yeah.
You want to talk about it in your prayer group.
Yeah.
I talk about it in my book club, you know?
Hey, you think this is the episode that gets us pulled out of the network?
Oh, I hope so.
No pulling out. You got to finish up, see?
That's right. See, that's again a thing in the Croods. It's like, why do you pull out? Because I don't want big finish.
You're supposed to rub it in.
We could like group all of our ideas together for one of like the Croods 2, the summoning. And because we all seem to have a theme of just them going at it, like there's no tomorrow.
I forgot. I renamed the family the Ludes.
I'll have you know that mine was very family friendly going at it. My shit was PG tops.
Yeah, well, that's why you're gonna get one corner of the market. We're not
for sacrifices.
Now, of course, we all know the good.
The communist.
The good ending of this is the one where the robots start showing up and abduct Brave there, and then Guy has to forge a sword out of fucking lava, cross the water, and say, "Damn talking box!" and then fight the Darth Vader knockoff guy before he makes the island blow up and free the people from the ice wall.
Yeah, see, that was another... God, you and I really are on the same page, because that was another plan I thought of, was why not do, like, cavemen versus aliens, since cowboys and aliens did so well? And then that way, at least you could bring in Harrison Ford. Yeah.
They get to the new land and it really works out, but they don't know what that Statue of Liberty thing is doing there at the beach, halfway buried. You know?
Yeah.
You guys! Wait! Cage's Kiss TM. Trademark, copywritten. It's ours.
Like, Cage,
that's right. Don't steal these ideas. They're really gold.
Didn't we just film a Croods movie? Yeah, but this is a new one. Okay, let's do it. It's kind of weird you're not talking to my agent to make me record these lines, but okay.
Let's talk to Lynn. Like, he can help us make a movie.
Yes, Lynn Kemazinski will just roundhouse kick the script over to Nick Cage. And you're like, oh, what is this? It's like, oh, okay, I'll start doing it. Why not? It's another movie I agreed to, right? It's like, yeah. I honestly I have respect for Cage, but I honestly believe if I slid him a script in the bathroom, he would say, I'm in. And then everyone else would have to look at us oddly when we come out of the stall and go, look, when he said he's in, that he meant exactly what you think he meant. And then just leave on that note.
Are you saying that everything he's done in the last 15 years has become because a car park got in the stall next to him and just kind of kicked the script under?
I think that's a lot better than saying it was slit through a glory hole. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, he was all ready to go, and then he got a rolled up script up there, you know, and he's flecking the shit flakes off of it in the lube, and all like, what's this? Vengeance, a love story? It's so crazy, it just might work.
And it always happens the same way. It was like, oh, damn it, I'm on the wrong side of it this time again.
Okay, so you're playing Gandhi. Okay, but this Gandhi, right? He's kind of a cool Gandhi, right? Wears sunglasses and eats gummy bears, am I right? Yeah, he's really into Elvis, right?
Son of a bitch, I'm in.
This time, Gandhi's got a Fu Manchu and he's fighting the Nazi.
In space.
This is my Mecca, motherfucker!
Sit a bar to my liking!
It's my happening and it freaks me out.
That's when he does the remake of Ernest Saves Christmas.
Oh.
We're just going to redo all the Jim Varney Ernest films with Nicolas Cage.
You know, years before I saw that, I had a nightmare along the same lines, except it wasn't with Santa Claus, it was with Abraham Lincoln. And like different people got turns at being Abraham Lincoln. No, Ernest isn't there.
Mother's Miak.
I'm not even joking. I would legitimately pay to see him play Ernest.
Well, also, TM copyright, whatever, Cage's Kiss.
Oh my god, see, look, we could have him playing Ernest, and then, like, the buggy-eyed old guy that always said nothing, you can give that part to Lynn. And he can just be a much more well-built version.
Ernest! Some bullies on BMX bikes just knocked over our lemonade stand. And then Cage is all like, yeah, Vern. Well, you should have seen when the shit hit the fan in Vietnam!
Yes!
Gee whiz, children.
I guess this is it is the holidays and we're coming up on New Year. If I can come clean about something, it's also something that's been kind of bothering me. So I saw the trailer for the new Cage joint on Netflix with the history of curse words, and I found myself thinking, he's actually hot again.
Yeah.
He's actually gone back to being attractive, and I don't know how I feel about it.
It's the year of the Cage.
Did he finally change the facial hair and hair combination?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
He looks good. He looks good, man, and it's a weird thing for me, but I just don't know what to do now.
Up to the minute Cage news.
So speaking of New Year. Is there something from Cage that you guys would like to see in the new year.
They could pull the Band-Aid off that third National Treasure so we can all stop thinking about it.
No,
just
Disney
dump it to
did
streaming.
it. Maybe they'll make it a Disney Plus show.
Oh, fuck. Oh, great. So I won't ever see it.
Yes.
Because I ain't giving that shit my money.
You know, because they just felt Jeff Goldblum is completely useless and everyone thinks he's so cool no matter what he does, so they just did, what was it, The World According to Jeff Goldblum?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they could do that with Nicolas Cage, but they just follow around his daily life. But it's going to be a little more interesting than Steven Seagal, like with his whole, I also volunteer as a sheriff at this place.
I might watch that if they just had like a real-time thing, like Cage from 5 to 7. You know, you have people like walking up
like
to
the
him.
Truman
And like,
Show?
And then a homeless man tries to challenge him to Kung Fu, and Cage thinks he can do Kung Fu, and he gets defeated by a homeless man.
Oh, but can the homeless man be Gary Busey?
No,
I mean, isn't that the role Gary Busey plays in real life?
Kind of, yeah. I was going to say maybe we'll be surprised and find out he actually does know magic and just goes around using his karate on people. It's like
very
maybe
large,
he beats up
the
the
shipment.
homeless for all we know. Where he's like, "Would you like $100?" Like, "Oh yes, I would, Mr. Cage." Like, "Good, then let's grapple." What? Oh my god! Oh god! Stop it!
You know you
you'll
reek
get
of
that
shit.
$100. Kumite.
He puts on gloves.
You eat in a trash can, and I eat at Trader Joe's, motherfucker.
His gloves and
He
a
made him
mask.
say uncle.
Body's ready, my heart's on fire.
I've been, with the holidays coming up, to cheer myself up, I've been watching one of my favorite shows ever, a bit of Fry and Laurie.
Oh.
And they came up with the idea of light metal as opposed to heavy metal. And they had the Bishop and the
That's
Warlord.
the kind I listen to.
I would like to see like a Bishop and the Warlord sort of thing with Nicolas Cage and his son. With his son, of course, playing the guitar.
If any Hollywood types are out there listening, I really would like to see Weston do more shit. Like, put Weston in some fucking movies or something. Like, you know, what's the worst that could happen?
I actually want a lot. I want to see a follow-up to Home Alone where it's going to be like the McAllisters getting together for a family reunion and Macaulay Culkin's character Kevin stays home. That's it. He doesn't get left behind because he's an adult. He just stays home. Oh. And Nicolas Cage plays a new bank robber with his son. It's a father and son business where they're during the
greasy
daytime.
Bandit.
Yes, they're the greasy bandits because they actually are trash men. They're the trash men because they work for the city's garbage disposal.
Oh my god, it's a sequel to Men at Work.
It is. We can have
Garbage
Emilio
Day.
Estevez playing like a cop or something. Yes, they'll go Garbage Day. But they scope out houses from their garbage truck and like, yeah, we're going to hit this McAllister place. It's going to be awesome. It's like the Wet Bandit gang kept trying to hit him for years. These got to be loaded with cash. His entire house is like the people under the stairs where it's just loaded with death traps everywhere. So it actually turns into this like twisty film where instead of him defending the home against the home invaders, Nick Cage and Weston, they're the ones trying to escape his home. And Macaulay Culkin will like appear in a GIMP outfit, which is just going to be like him in a leather leotard and like a GIMP mask. And he's going to go, you'll think these traps are here to protect me. He's like, they're there for you. He's like, oh my God. He keeps making like spider and fly metaphors constantly. Every time they're caught, it's just him doing a slow walk where he's like talking about catching people and acting predatory. Like animals hunt down these animals for days and then they finally kill them after wounding them. It's like, oh my God, just kill me already.
Do you think that the first Home Alone movie was like a prequel to Saw?
Almost, yeah.
No, it was Don't Breathe, the original version.
Like, oh God. Yeah, you're right. But, God, you really need to see that movie. It's, oh God, no, we don't need to watch that one again.
Yeah, we do.
No.
That's the last movie I ever saw in the theater.
Honestly, it's like rewatching Home Alone. Kevin really escalated everything in that situation. And everything he did, the only thing he did that made sense was calling the cops at the end. He could have called them at the beginning. He completely avoided the entire mess of scorching the flesh off a man's hand, scorching someone's brain with a blowtorch, stabbing a foot with a fucking nail in the floor, stepping on glass, and then crushing a man's skull with a paint can.
Donnie, all of it makes so much sense, and I'm going to tell you why. $1 billion, number one at the box office. Thank you.
Well, see, at first it was all because he was a kid. You know, we're all stupid kids, so you know he didn't really think anything of it. But then the second time, it was just because he got a taste.
When
for it.
I was a child, I spake as a child. I
my God.
understood as a child.
And just
But
like how
not
all the Home
now.
Alone movies
Oh,
had
no.
like that one person where everyone's like, oh my God, that guy totally killed all these people because he looks old and creepy. And oh my God, there's a bird lady in the park and she's spooky and a witch. He's going to live next to Adam Sandler playing Adam Sandler.
Oh,
And he's just
no.
he's gonna be like, hey Kevin, how's it going? He's like, like, get away from
But
me,
it's
you
gonna be
failure of a
like,
human being.
It's going to be like Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, right?
No, I just want people to see Adam Sandler as himself acting normal and people treating it like he's just the fucking plague. Like they just scream at his sight of him.
Well, let's
Like,
get
he
the
just shows up
documentary
at
crew
town
together
meetings.
and send Adam Sandler to the Cannes Film Festival.
Yes. But I just, like, imagine, like, he just shows up at, like, a town hall meeting. It's like, I'd like to say no against public sidewalks being made private. Like, who let you in here? And then everyone just goes silent until he leaves. And then they all start hyperventilating. Like, oh, my God. he
That
was
other
here.
lady
Oh,
got to
Jesus.
talk for an hour about her dead mother, and she didn't even have a point about the motion at hand. I thought maybe, I'd be considered too.
Yeah, I was like, I was in Little Nicky, you guys. Like, oh, my God, get out of here, Quad, please. Call the cops.
Gee, I thought the Popeye's chicken would be open later than that. Oh, they saw
Can we
me
just
coming
have
and the
Donald
lights went out.
Sutherland screaming and pointing at him?
Oh!
Except it'll be Nick Offerman playing as him. It's gonna be a veritable who's who in this movie.
All right. I'm surprised it hasn't been made already.
I say what I want. I'd like to get Weston together with some of those Dimension Films types. Get them over to Eastern Europe, and just make a series of films that are basically like zero budget Highlander movies. And he can do the soundtrack.
Yes.
They don't have to be long. They don't have to be expensive. I just want them.
Perfect
Tia
world,
Carrere
you could
shows
get
up
Tangerine
as a
Dream.
vampire seductress, and it won't matter that she's
course.
really fucking old because she'll do it. Cynthia Rothrock's there. Tony Todd's
For
there. Yeah,
Fuck yes.
yeah.
Running Tony's Toys Shop.
That's right.
Here
Be
we
my
are,
customer.
Sons of Cage.
And Lance Henriksen just keeps showing up, even though he wasn't
Yes.
necessarily cast. You just can't keep him away.
Professor Lance.
Come on, give me something to do. Let me be a CIA agent or a priest or something.
Starring Christopher Walken as Santa Claus.
Merry Christmas to
For
all.
no reason.
And to all,
Santa's
good
there.
night. Well, yeah, no, because he's immortal too. It's based on C.S. Lewis. You guys. This
was
shit's
gonna
really
say,
deep.
You're going to have Christopher Lambert as the lion.
What
Talking
kept you?
dog.
He's gonna wear like a fake lion's mane. And it's like you're gonna have Christopher Walken as Santa, but he's not gonna talk.
oh,
He's just gonna
no.
look exactly like the Headless Horseman and just go.
Christopher Lambert is Lucius the nearsighted lion.
Yeah. What was it? Cletus the cross-eyed lion?
They're meeting in a warehouse with like a bunch of busted out windows and there's pigeons flying around. It's nighttime and there's fog. And then Weston's all like, "Dark and sinister man, have at thee."
Can we get Christopher Lambert with all those tattoos he had in Ghost Rider 2?
Yeah.
He's got the mane and he's got a bandeau bra, like that's like sort of orange, like sort of lion fur color.
Yeah, and he
then
hangs
he's got,
around
like,
with
a banana hammock.
Yeah, no,
a tail.
and with him, as always, is Mario Van Peebles as a blind gunfighter.
Yeah, and he thinks that he's a dog.
Yeah, no, and he's
We
got
can go, like, the
kind of
cat's route
scuffed
and
up
put him in a
mirrored
fursuit.
sunglasses, right? That have got razor wire wrapped around them. Yeah.
Woof.
I feel like we're ad-libbing a movie.
It's like a jungle
No,
sometimes.
this is what
Makes me wonder
Golden
how I keep from
Globus
going
did.
under.
This is how canon was made.
Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge.
Edge.
Yeah,
Get at us, Netflix or
we call it Druid Kommander. Commander with a K. And that's capitalized even though it's a middle and there's no space. And Druid Kommander 2, the fucking, Druid Kommander, Lord of Illusions. Yeah.
We call it Druid Kommander and DK Wars, just for short.
Oh, yeah.
sell their
DK War 6,
titles.
Beyond Cyberspace, DK War Bloodline, and then you get the spin-offs, and there's spin-off books that don't look like they're long enough to be real books, but you pay the same.
Yeah, we can do like the Dune series, where it's just house this, house that, house of sand, house of worms.
Yeah.
Worm sand.
And then we can have like a
Monster
television
House
series
of
called
Sand and
Druid
Fog.
Knights.
Yes. Hot Druid Knights.
Yeah, no. No, you do a whole series filmed in Malibu with Weston in like some really washed out model, and every time there's a paranormal mystery, even though he's just a lifeguard.
Yes.
I want to imagine that right now Nicolas Cage is listening to all this on a phonograph, and his
Taking
eyes
notes.
and his face, he's just looking like he did when he was dressed as the preacher in Face Off, and he's just like, in like actual awe at all these ideas we're giving him, and he's just going to
saying-
treat it. Go ahead.
Finally, somebody gets me.
Yeah, it's going to be
Somebody
kind of like the
gets
whole
me.
Mormon Bible being written, where it's like we're this talking stone that
Yeah,
only
we
he
are the
can
gold
see
thing
and
in the
hear
hat.
from.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just gonna be writing with like a cape over him, so no one else can see what he's writing, and it's all these ideas for films that we're giving him. And
I'm just
he's
saying,
signing
after
blank contracts.
After having watched 211 and after having looked up some shit about Weston and his band, I've concluded that Weston Cage is the next Slade Craven and it needs to happen.
Yeah. Do
Weston,
a
get
Turbulence
at
movie.
us.
Yeah.
Make
We're
his
down
dad
for
the
it, Weston.
pilot.
Yeah, fucking A.
Oh god, are we gonna turn him into like Will Smith and his son? And we're just gonna start putting them together in films
They're
like that?
alchemists.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that
No,
would be
actually,
so-
what I want to do
God,
for
maybe
Cage,
they are like actual enemies in real life. Like if
That would-
Weston
that would
and
explain
Cage
the
can't be
limited
anywhere
screen time
near,
together.
like Will Smith, because they keep busting in his door. It's like, we're here to get you, alchemists. And they start spitting magic at each other like Harry
Dude.
Potter and shit.
Ang Lee, I know you're listening. You're a friend of the show. Get at us. We have an idea.
I don't know how old he is now or anything else, but I'm pretty positive that Weston could take Jaden Smith.
Yeah.
Like Cage Maths right now,
yeah.
he'll mop the floor with Jaden Smith.
I know a lot of people would pay to see it too.
Yeah, get that
Yeah, but
pay-per-view
then
shit
Jaden
going.
would talk about how losing is actually winning if you're used to it.
He can't talk if his teeth gets busted out.
You don't know that. Like, what are teeth anyway? They're weird.
Alchemist v. Alchemist. The
I saw his-
Sorcerer's Bone.
His quote-unquote anime, and I'm freaking done with his shit.
Well, what if he does go full metal alchemist and he starts trying to like resurrect people and ends up binding himself to a fucking dog? Then we have to put him out of his misery.
But
That
no,
show's really fucked up for people that haven't seen it. You really should see it.
it's an anime. It's for fun.
No, it is not.
Anyway, I want to do the erotic thriller, where like Madam District Attorney, has to deal with the guy who's like kind of oily but charming, and then he turns out to be a guilty as sin type murderer. And then Cage plays her elderly detective friend who tries to sort it out but gets set on fire at the hour mark.
What if we just remake the Red Shoe Diaries with Nick Cage? And
Yeah.
every time we introduce it, it's just him naked and hairy with rose petals at his crotch, covered in oil. And
didn't see you there.
He's kind of like the crypt keeper. He's like, today we have another saucy tale about some tail.
You know, we all wear masks, sometimes leather with a zipper, others more subtle, shall we say. Je ne sais quoi.
Yes.
And David Duchovny's just standing there throwing rose petals.
In New Orleans, you can eat peaches out of a twat. Did you know that? It's just stunning you could find out.
He's got Weston behind him with a palm frond, looking really awkward because he has to see his dad's naked, greased-up ass as he's waving the palm frond over him. And every story will have Nick Cage as the protagonist, and he'll always
Tales from the Hunger Side.
Tales from the loincloth. He'll introduce
Get at
the
us,
jock
Weston.
cam. It's gonna be awesome.
But as we've agreed before, we need to throw in Eddie Furlong.
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah.
How about we use him for the Nick Cage John Travolta reunion flick of not Face Off, but Look Who's Talking 3 or 4 or 5, where it's going to be their genitals that are talking. And we're going to have like Nick Cage in there. We'll have Weston. We'll also have John Travolta. And we'll have Eddie Furlong. And he'll get to voice or something.
You just said Furlong. You just gave me like this freaking flash of inspiration. We got to get him. We got to get Clint Howard, and we got to get some washout people who are still alive from like Melrose Place or some shit.
I'm here for it.
And we got to do a thing where somebody's dying of cancer, and to save them, they have to get vampire blood. So they have to go to this mine on this island that's like, you know, has a really fucked up history, and they're trying to find the coffin of the vampire who is Cage.
Oh.
Yeah, Vampires Squeeze, The Reckoning.
Actually, wait, what if it's like in a castle, but the vampire's grave is just an upturned couch in the castle?
The torches of the damned!
We filmed in Dracula's castle. I just felt it was appropriate.
Yeah. And although shooting in Romania would be cheap and appropriate, no, this will just be Canada.
Yeah.
All right.
Romania Candia.
Yeah. You know, it's real creepy up there.
Listen, Len, we have ideas.
Yes.
If we say his name 3 times, can we like summon him again? And like,
I don't think you want
just
to
float out from the sky and the.
I don't know if you listen, but if you play our last episode where we had Lynn on there, if you play it in reverse, you'll hear him say, "You only get one." And I think we should take that to heart.
Spider-Man.
Because if you summon him a second time, I think he's just gonna Tony Todd you from like your groin to your neck. But it's gonna be like a kick or something, or he'll just rip his shirt off and go. Rah!
Oh, wait a minute! Wait, what?
Then he'll just like rip your face off.
Might want to summon him again.
When are we gonna have Max Landis on?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, we can't have Max Landis on.
I'm just thinking of people we could get. You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How about Max Brooks?
Actually, what? No. I want Jeff Fahey. God damn it!
All right.
Yeah, we can do that.
Jeff, friend of the show.
Let's just.
Why not?
Why not go higher? Why not get David Lynch? And
oh my god!
Tell my thoughts on his films to his face.
Oh my god! He's probably used to it.
And I would turn into that SNL sketch of like, remember that movie you made?
I'd have to resist, like doing an impression of him to his face. They'd be like, you know how you did that movie about the Elephant Man? That was really cool.
That would actually be even funnier if he just walked up and punched you. He was like, "You son of a bitch, Adrian! I told you never to contact me again." Like, what happened?
And then Adrian would say, "Thank you, sir."
It'll turn out it counted that time I had a dream about him. Yeah.
You're welcome.
So I think we covered the Croods pretty well.
And
yeah, that's all gonna happen in the Croods too. Everybody, prove us wrong.
You mean they're not gonna have a butt fucking orgy?
The blood fucking. There's only one review as of when I looked. There's only review for it on Prime. Somebody rated it 4 out of 5, and I did not read what they had to say.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it a hard rock time?
Oh, yeah. In the old town tonight, yeah.
God damn it.
Oh, God. It's Elizabeth Taper. It's Holly Rock.
Actually, before we do wrap everything up, here's a Cage Miss Christmas question. If the world was going to end on Christmas, like each year, there has to be a thing to save us. And it has to be Nicolas Cage in a cage fighting someone. Who would Nick Cage fight to save the world for all of us?
Gary Busey.
It's probably Gary Busey.
Oh my God, could this be like a celebrity battle royal where every year we have like one celebrity that gets chosen as a sacrifice to fight him?
The chosening.
Yes.
Maybe Judge Judy?
Yeah. Okay, that'll secure the world.
Cage kicking Judge Judy in the mouth once a year? Okay.
See, you can still have Gary Busey, but he's like the elder god. And it's like, as long as the fight entertains him, then we get to stay. So he's like, yeah,
well,
Judge Judy, I like it.
Yeah, no, let's actually, for people who I'd dearly love to see Cage just cream in the ring, and Cage would, for he has that power. I think I'd like to see him, do an elevator grudge match with Kirk Cameron.
Okay.
Yes.
Just going at it in a New York high-rise elevator.
Oh yeah, just ba-ding, ba-ding, ba-ding against that door thing.
It'll be like a cage match where like they have to climb out of the elevator and then they have to pull a release cable that'll just drop the elevator, and that's who the winner is.
Yeah, and we get color commentary from James Caan. Somebody out there gets that joke.
And maybe JR from the WWE, just because I know I want to hear him just say what he always says, which is like, he broke him in half. He broke him in half. Oh my God. Oh my God. He killed him. He killed him. He just slapped him in the man tit. He killed him. Oh my God. And all my years.
Feel the earth
national treasure.
Hollywood, we hope you're taking notes.
Yeah. Liberal run media, you heard us.
That highfalutin big city Hollywood. We out here making movies.
We're done with Grand Isle, Donnie.
Oh.
Are we ever done, Linda?
Grand Isle, which I had to watch but didn't have to talk about.
You're the
Rub it in,
lucky
why
one.
don't you?
Yeah.
Well, you guys were so gung-ho to talk about your movie. Oh.
Don't want to talk about it, you big highfalutin city Adrian. Don't know
I
what
was
it
off in the
even
big
is.
city. I went to the city to be a stud.
Jesus.
So please follow, listen, rate, and review Cage's Kiss on Apple Podcasts and on Podchaser, and check out our stuff on YouTube. Also check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Cage's Kiss. Remember, you can find Cage's Kiss on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Cage's Kiss. You can visit our website at cageskiss.com, and you can write to us at cageskiss@gmail.com.
If you're a
Check out my other podcast about witches and history and stories of all media, bedknobs and broomflicks. It's spelled with licks at the end, so you know it's good. Also, check me out as Lila in Dispatches of Disassociation, and as Patrice and Lieutenant Murphy in Coyote's Bluff. Donnie.
No,
where can people find
Adrian.
Donnie's in Coyote's Bluff, but I ain't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in there.
Okay, Adrian.
What?
Yeah. No, you said me. I was going to say Adrian, but no, you wanted me first. You get this. Da-na-na, da-na-na,
Oh,
da-na-na.
God damn it.
I am
And that's all the time we have
Unreal
tonight.
Goals on Twitter. I am also Unreal Goals on the YouTubes. I've got the Wisdom in a Bottle, where we're going to be reviewing movies soon.
Ooh!
And I'm also on the Instagram as Stilgar the Twi'lek. And, oh yeah, The Boy Who Blew over on RedTube.
I
I
heard that
think,
is
or it's
still
Pornhub.
garlic Twi'lek.
Well, I do like still garlic, so that is pretty awesome. But
Still
yeah, you can find me
garlic
on the
after all
Pornhub
these
and
years.
RedTube and stuff like that. I shouldn't drink so much. But yeah, Adrian, where can they find your foxiness?
Oh, God, you can find my poor ass in a bullshit uniform driving a broken down truck for my fucked up job. But if you want to find me on the internets, where you're more likely to run into me, it's going to be Leo the Fox, LeoTheFox, all run together, lowercase, all one word. That's on DeviantArt.com. I actually update that one quite a bit. And you can look at artworks and stories and things, and you can go to my Patreon under the same thing, and you can give me some money to see them super secret artworks that are more different from the artworks displayed on the DeviantArt. And I'm on the YouTube as A.A. Smith. Find me there and look at cartoony things, some of which you might have seen on The Cage's Kiss, some of which you did not see on The Cage's Kiss.
Ooh.
And I'm on Goodreads. It's Leo the Fox also.
And MySpace.
I'm not on fucking MySpace, you
LiveJournal.
stupid, you stupid
You can
2005
email him at
poo-poo head.
CompuServe.net.
Well,
At
my
Prodigy.
email is still a Hotmail, so
I still use the imagination game.
because I started using the interwebs back when Bush was president
Oh my.
in his first term.
Oh.
So you'll be hearing from us next week with another very special episode of Cage's Kiss, where we won't be covering, once again, we will not be covering a
The
Cage
Ludes?
movie,
Oh.
because we're actually going to be covering the comic book that he wrote with his son Weston. And with
Weston, the
Mike
Druid
Carey.
Commander.
Yes, also known as Druid Commander. It is called Voodoo Child, and no, it has nothing to do with the song.
You've had the best, now try the rest. It's Cage's choice.
Yeah, no, so the song has slight return in it to differentiate it from the comic book. That's why Hendrix didn't want us to get confused, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I
That's
thought they
thoughtful.
meant chili, like a voodoo chili. Like it was something made in New Orleans where there's voodoo, it's chili.
Nachos piled up in the mountain.
Happy New Year? I don't know.
And happy Kwanzaa,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Cage, 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 Peach. I could eat a peach for hours. Please.